We have set design
and production truck. This guy's gonna have a couple of tripods, a couple of cameras, a couple of lenses, a drone, and the full audio setup, all on one bike.
rolling on that one. Rolling on that one.
Now that's not gonna work.
Why? Right here?
Yeah. You gotta do it with me,
Why?
so we can hear both of them.
They're the same. Timing.
See, that's
Timing.
That's why you're the expert on this stuff. I don't know why I'm even in this video.
because you use these microphones as much as I use these microphones, and you know how annoying or how beneficial each one of them is, I suppose.
Yeah, but you know the.
Well, it's only because I've been doing it for 28 years.
You know.
Well, I kind of know. We're about to find out how much I know. I'm about to spout off some stuff I learned yesterday.
You know what really amazed me when I first was most amazed about audio? Do you remember that ad a while back? A guy sitting in a chair.
Oh yeah, was it?
It was. Is it live?
Live or is it Memorex?
Yeah.
But in this instance, the people are wrong.
Yes. Was it Memorex?
That was bad. That was when I first thought, I got to get into hi-fi stereo.
Insert apropos YouTube clip.
The usual, sir.
Well, I will welcome everybody to the channel, and then you can just listen to Jason spouting off on this one because he's the expert on this. But
Pseudo expert.
welcome back to the channel, guys. This is Chris from Moto Photo Adventures.
Jason from the same place.
And we are here to review a fantastic new product that has definitely, in our brains, changed our world. It's going to make our travel videos and our adventure films so much easier to set up. I can't wait to put it into use. But today we're going to kind of do a show and tell and unboxing and test it out a little bit. Tell us what we're working on.
Microphones.
Microphones.
Audio.
Audio.
So this one is, people like to use the word game changer a lot, you know, but this is not a game changer. This is a game elevator. So let me give you a little background of how we do things. I'll give them a little background on how we do things because you already know.
Right.
We use microphones when we're running around. It's called guerrilla style, which is we're just shoving cameras in people's faces and you know, talking to people. We're using the onboard microphone for either our cell phones or our GoPros. When we want to do something a little more inclusive or intimate or long
Or
staged, we use microphones. We have been using a set of Comica XD Wi-Fi 2.4 gigahertz, and you can see they're all goofed up because we've been using them.
They work great.
And it's two microphones that go into one receiver. We also have another set.
So what do we do with Steve?
Steve leans in.
Hello, break, come in.
You see our problem.
But we also have we had a solution for that.
See, the audio expert instantly picked up
There's
a car driving
by.
by,
And
and
so-
he paused his dialogue. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. So our solution, see, and then I pick up right where I left off. So our solution for that was to have a second wireless system that also had two mics and one receiver, and I had that already for my production company, and those are the Pico Gear Pico mics, and they also are Wi-Fi. So the sound would be similar, the system would be similar, the setup would be similar. However, the Pico mics, as seen here, the advantage that they had, and this is not a Pico commercial, I'm just setting the stage for you, is the form factor. In COVID times, when you didn't want to get up all in somebody's grill and wire them up through their shirt and tuck it into their pants, I would just
You've all seen, you know, the guy on the set running the wires down through the shirt, which is what we had to do before we started today.
Correct. The Pico set, the form factor is what got me. I would just toss this little piece to them. There was no wires, there was no everything. But still...
Did you toss it to them while you coughed in their face?
I did not. But the form factor was the thing. But it didn't solve one of the problems that we had, which was multiple people, more than two people in an interview at one time. So what we had to do was we used a Comica set for two, and we used a Pico set for two. One set going to one camera and one set going to the other camera, which also introduces another complication, which means another camera.
Right.
Or an audio receiver, mixer, something that can take in all of those things. Now,
or just a whole extra level of editing headache.
Yes, because we have multiple audio channels now, or multiple audio tracks now that I have to fiddle with and make sound the same and sync up and blah blah blah. But now,
a little emailing back and forth with Comica.
The game elevator, the Boom XU. So,
but you have to be very specific. It's the Boom XU Qua.
Qua. I would suppose that's quad.
It's Qua.
Yeah, but 4, like without the D.
Like quad. I think it's probably a foreign language.
I'm saying it's Qua because it sounds like quad.
I like your analogy.
That's how it's yes. What do they call those?
I thought it was QUA, but listening to Comica's internal reviews and how-tos, it's pronounced Qua.
I like it. But this one has 4 microphones, 1 receiver. You can break these channels out into different configurations for different uses and things like that. But not only is it 4 in 1, which solves one of our problems.
Yeah.
It's also UHF, which also solves a problem that you could potentially run into as well.
And
this is the professional stuff.
Tell them about the output options.
There's a headset out, which is everything into both earphones. They split A, B, C, D, 2 in one, 2 in the other, but that's one out. Then you have another out which can be either all A, B, C, D, or A and B, left and right. And then you have a third out which can be all of them, or B and C and D. Correct. If I'm saying that correct.
So all of that to say, you just have options. You know, 4 inputs, 3 outputs. It just gives you infinite number of variables.
Right. So not to get too deep in the weeds, and if I get any of this wrong, it's because I learned it yesterday. UHF is more of a professional band. It's generally, or not generally, but sometimes referred to as the super Wi-Fi. It works at the 400 to 800 megahertz. 400 to 800 megahertz band, while the Wi-Fi ones like Pico mics and the Comica XD.
Basically 2.4 gigahertz for those of you who know how your Wi-Fi routers work.
Right. So one of the things that you might know when you're at your house with the Wi-Fi signal is if you have a 2-channel one, it's 2.4 and 5. One of them goes around walls really well, but other one does distance very well. With the UHF, the higher grade professional stuff, the distance is better, the interference is less. And so you're kind of doing an upgrade. But it does
eat a little bit more power from what I understand, correct?
Yes, yes.
So the form factor's got to be a bit bigger. That's why the 2.4 gigahertz in the Pico mics makes sense, because they're so small.
And in the Comica XD as well, they're smaller and the power lasts longer. But the trade that you're getting here is worth the size because you're getting a more professional and more stronger signal.
And for inputs.
Yes, and for inputs. Now, the interesting thing that got me was, traditionally the Wi-Fi systems are less expensive. This is a UHF, double the number of transmitters, about the same price.
It's incredible.
So I'm very excited
for the money
for this almost game changer.
I'm going to call it a game changer.
You can call it what you will. So I suppose we should open it up.
As many times as I've seen you on the side of the road going, okay, here, Steve, you've got these. Now let me think. That transmitter is going to go into that camera. Let's see now.
It does take a minute.
Let me think. Okay, hold on. Now Chris has that mic set. Now, okay, I'm putting that receiver on this camera. You know, now you just have 4. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go.
Receiver.
Here you go. And you plug it in. And you're ready to roll.
Without an extra piece. That's the big thing, is it doesn't take an extra piece of equipment. Generally, if you were doing 4 microphones, you would be putting it into a receiver or a mixing board of some sort, and then out into the recording device. This takes it. This is just happy. All I'm saying is this is just happy.
We don't pull our motorcycles up to a Southern Baptist church where there's a mixing board sitting there ready for us to plug into.
I suppose that's true. Is that what all Southern Baptist sounds like?
Open it up, man. Let's see what we got.
Turn in your hymnals to page 264. We will sing the first and third. Comica bag. Oh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so, I mean, that's a big deal. It's also relatively compact.
That is very nice.
It will fit in there.
Yeah,
that's kind of like the test. Will it fit
In
in
your
my
bag.
motorcycle bag. And yes, it will. So let's go ahead and get to the good
It's
stuff.
a really
I suppose.
nice material too.
I like it. So there we go.
Very cool.
Treat for later.
Yep, yep.
You know what
Silica
those are
gel.
for. So these are the 4 microphones and the receiver. If we look, let's start with just the receiver. If you notice that we have the headset out and then the 2 other separate outs that in the menu you would make the changes and choices on how you want those to be sent to your recording device.
Right.
And then they also have the antennas to maximize the distance, I'm supposing.
Something like 270 degrees of rotation.
I'm not exactly sure, you know.
It depends on your
antenna.
If your thing's on your camera like this, sitting on your hot shoe, you know.
That's true. It does come with a cold shoe that you don't have to disassemble. It slides right under the belt clip.
It's really nice.
That's
or
kind
of course,
neat.
it's got the belt clip too.
Right.
Oh, best part. You forgot. Best part. Best part.
Is there a best part?
Yep, there's best part. Best part. Best part. IR.
Oh, IR syncing, yes. Where you pair them.
Yeah, super easy to pair the microphones if you want to check for different channels with less interference.
Yep, and
you can just hold them up to the little IR signals and they can
and
connect.
USB-C charging, which means
Yes!
another benefit for us, which is our GoPros use USB charging. So
And
one
some of our
cord.
phones use USB-C charging.
Right, there you go. So it's, you know,
Our
it's
drone
fitting
uses
into the style.
USB-C charging.
Here is the transmitter. It has a microphone on the top. It also comes with a windscreen for the top.
Can I say it? Can I say it?
Please do.
Dead cat.
Right. The belt clip and the IR there, the charger there, the antenna there, and the high pass filter and the power button.
And a mute function.
And a mute function, which is what sometimes we want to do to you, but
Sometimes we want to mute Steve.
so we will
Steve
get
gets
into
the brunt of the jokes because he's not here.
So right now we're talking into the Comica the Boom XDs, the old versions. That's all of the accoutrement, the instructions and the cords and the cold shoes, and we'll look at all of that independently. Now, here's the question.
Yes.
Should we now then do a deep dive and see how they sound and how far they go?
Let's hook them up, man.
All right, be back in a second.
So before we put these on, and just to show you guys how easy this is to set up, Jason has left this part in my novice hands. Super easy to set this thing up. I will mention very quickly that it comes with a very good set of instructions. Pictures. It has pictures for people like me. Little diagrams. Very, very cool. And Jason, being the pro that he said that he is, suggested that once you open these, you just tuck it underneath the very bottom foam. And that way it's in there, but you really don't need it. This setup is so easy, you really can figure it out through the menu system on your own. It's pretty simple. But let me show you real quickly all of the accessories in the top section. We are going to be using the lav microphones, and the cool part is it comes included with the dead cats. Now the dead cat can actually fit on the microphone itself, or you can just stuff it on the end of the lav mic for extra wind protection if you're going to be using it as a lav mic. Very, very cool. Hot shoe or cold shoe adapter. So it does come with the cold shoe adapter included. And then all kinds of cables. So I'll share with you XLR. As Jason mentioned earlier, this is a UHF system, so it's very much designed for professionals, and a lot of pros use cameras that have XLR inputs. So it comes with the XLR cable. It does come with, let's see, this must be the TRS. I'm learning. But this is called TRS, tip, ring, sleeve, something like that. Anyway, has 2 little black separators and 3 channels, but this says right on the back of the label, which is super cool for camera or camcorders. So if you're using it with your DSLR or your Z9 like we are, perfect, that's the cable you'll want to use. Also comes with this other cable, TRRS to TRS. So you would use this one for smartphone. It actually literally says on the tag, for smartphone. Like I said, these guys thought of everything, made it super simple for you. So when you're using an appropriate device, you can pick the appropriate cable. It does come with this really cool USB charger that has a splitter for 3 different USB chargings at the same time. I guess there must be some sort of a limitation in power that they couldn't put a 4th one on there, because remember, you do have 4 different transmitters and 1 receiver. They all charge by USB-C. So I guess you have to put 3 on at a time, take those off, put the other 3 on. But there you go. That's all the cables, and again, you've got all 4 different microphones, and the dead cats, and the camera attachment, the cold shoe attachment. All right, let's get inside and look at what's on the interior of the box again. As mentioned earlier, Jason told you there's 4 transmitters and 1 receiver. And as I mentioned as well, the dead cat can actually go directly onto the microphone that comes with the device. So the cool part is you can take that without having to run your wires and attach it like so, and boom, you've got a microphone ready to roll. So if you're just running and gunning, you want to just stick that on somebody, there you go. Pop one on each of your guests, you're ready to do a little introduction or a little interview. Very, very cool setup, and again, as I mentioned, the dead cat is transferable to the lav mic, so if you prefer, you can plug this guy in and run that in, put this up your shirt, just like this one is right here, and you've got a whole setup ready to go. And I do want to just briefly mention, it's really neat, they come with these cool little clips, so when you plug the microphone in, you get this little clip that attaches, and it keeps it from coming out without you expecting it to come out. So when you've got this plugged in and you've got it on your hip, you won't have to worry about your microphone accidentally coming loose, and then you think you're recording audio, but you're really not. So really, really neat safety device that they've built into that. All right, now that you've seen all the bells and whistles in the top part, all the cables and accessories, let me show you how easy it is to set this up. And honestly, there is no setup at all. 4 microphones, 4 transmitters, 1 receiver. Again, remember, this is from a novice point of view for me. Basically, power on, let me see if I can find it. Hold that in for 3 seconds. Power on. Hold that in for 3 seconds. Guess what? A just lit up. Now the way we're going to do it, and what I think is the coolest setup, is this 3rd output. So if you plug into the 3rd one, which is designated by the headphone symbol, it's going to take all 4 inputs. So we'll be able to talk to 4 different people all at the same time, and it's going to break those out with A and C on the left channel and B and D on the right channel. Super, super cool, and gives us some complete control in terms of the volumes. We can do some adjustments if we need to. But it really gives us a very flexible output with having all the different devices connected and not having them all going into the same stream, which doesn't give us any editing capability at all. But remember, if you're a little more on the pro side and you're going to use a mixing board, you can use the 2 other outputs to run the channels separately and have complete control. All right, let's get these babies hooked up and see how good they are. Which one are you turning on?
That one.
The box.
The box. I turned it on. So now we can hear that because we had them muted. So that's
Can
good.
you hear me now?
Which they should be able to hear us now.
Yay!
We have not played this back, so we don't know what it sounds like. So you can tell us this is straight with the Comica box without the lavalier microphone.
Yep.
This is just the box. We have it set up so I'm going into one channel and Chris is going into the other channel. Now, we should probably...
Which one do you have?
Huh?
You're A.
I'm A and C.
And I'm B and D.
Which means I should be going to the left channel and he should be going to the right channel no matter which microphone we talk into, which leads me to, let's now switch over to the lavalier.
Okay.
So we unmute the lavalier and mute the box. Hopefully that's working.
Now we're both on lavalier mics.
And we still should be left channel, right channel, even though I'll probably mix it later. And how does this sound, since we don't know what it sounds like? And
Yep. Now, I think this mute thing is a really neat feature.
oh yeah, absolutely, because if I've got to sneeze or something,
Yeah.
or go to the bathroom,
Yeah. I mean, most mics don't have little features like this, so I think that's kind of neat.
I like it. I suppose that the last thing that we have to check is distance.
We should check the distance,
So
absolutely.
I suppose we should do that in a moto photo type of deal.
How's that? What do you mean?
I'm gonna hop on the bike.
You mean most YouTubers who walk away, okay, how does it sound?
I'm gonna walk 15 feet, turn around and go, is it working? And I'm going, no, this is moto photo. I'm getting on the bike.
Get on your motorcycle.
I'm gonna get on the bike and go. So I'm just gonna leave it the way exactly it is.
Okay.
I don't mean to yell at you. And I'm gonna hop on the bike and we're gonna go. So point the camera that way. Ready?
I'll go do it.
Okay. One more thing I forgot to tell you, it's got a high pass filter, so all of the buzzing and the humming and the background noise, if you do that, it turns purple and it gets rid of some of it.
All right. There he goes.
One, two, three, I'm talking. I don't know how far I will go before Chris can stop hearing me, but I'm going to continue on. If he's talking, I'll mute it.
That's pretty good.
And
That's
if I'm still talking,
starting to break up.
I'm going to go over the speed hump at a
Wow.
legal.
That's impressive. We would never use anything that far away. So, hey man, that's pretty impressive.
And then as I come back,
I can't believe he got that far. We would never use anything that far away. So, better than what we need. My box is showing.
that's insane. So what do you identify as?
How did you get the high ground?
It's the boots. I'm really 4'2".
Yeah. You want to switch?
Now I'm left channel, you're right channel.
Now we're better. See, I think that's better.
Yes.
Now do I have to go check focus?
Nope. I think you're good. We didn't move forward or backward. We moved left and right.
Left and right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
What are we doing?
An outro.
An outro.
Yep. We love them.
We love them.
We want more of them.
Yet.
As my drill sergeant would say, make it hurt, drill sergeant, make it hurt.
You know, I'm pretty impressed.
I like it.
I mean, totally changes the game for us.
Yes.
See, it's a game changer.
It's
see?
an elevator. It's an elevator. It's not a game changer. If it's going from basketball, changing games would be soccer.
I think it's a game changer.
Okay.
For us, you get to connect 4, 3,
It is
4
definite.
people, however many you want, without having to deal with multiple different devices and different receivers.
We can argue semantics, but we both agree that it is definitely going to make our lives easier.
Yes, absolutely.
100%. Because when we're on the trail and we're doing things fast, we probably won't use the lavs.
No.
We'll just stick the box right on.
Yeah.
But all 4, or at least in our case 3+1,
Yeah.
always. I mean, it's just now the complication gets cut in half.
Absolutely.
And that's what I
absolutely.
like the most about the whole system.
And that is kind of cool that they build a microphone into the transmitter, so you don't even
Right.
need a lav.
That's
So,
what I'm
I mean,
saying.
It's
Yeah,
great.
it's awesome. It's awesome. So I was happy with the Comicas before. I'm really happy with the Comicas now.
Broadcast quality,
So, UHF,
high grade stuff.
decent distance.
The material that it's made out of, super slick, super nice, very professional feel.
You can see the LCDs very nicely.
The LCDs are a great touch.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes,
The LCD on the transmitter, a lot of these, the competition, they don't have any LCDs on the transmitter, on the box itself.
Mm-hmm.
So like when we turned on the high pass filter or turned on the mute function,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the others you can't tell exactly where you are. So that's kind of neat.
Yep. I think that one of the things I will do for the cold shoe is get myself just a little arm so that I can lean it back so I can see it on the back of the camera.
Right.
But that's just a nitpicky little thing.
Yes.
Probably won't do that while you and I are in the field with Moto Photo, but in my professional stuff, I probably will make minor adjustments just for, ease of use
Convenience.
and convenience and things like that.
But
know?
you video gurus, I mean, you have all those little small rig devices, all those little adjustment arms and things like that for all kinds of gear anyway. So
Yes, that's true.
That's a normal part of your process, is to
Right.
take a product like this and make it suit your needs.
Right. I'm not going to buy anything extra for it. I'm just going to use something I've already got for it. So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. Is there anything that we haven't discussed on these yet?
I don't know, I'm pretty impressed. I don't think so.
Oh, and one of the other cool things I like about it too, I have to add, is you can use them while you're charging them. I use DSLRs or mirrorless cameras in my professional stuff, and I'm always finding adapters to hook the USB battery bricks to stuff.
Yes.
So I'm not carrying, you know, the Canon batteries or whatever. We can hook these to the receiver or put the battery pack in your pocket. If we're doing a seminar or a long interview or it's multiple hours long or whatever.
All day shoot.
We don't have to worry about, am I going to lose, you know, am I going to lose power on this one? The transmitter go away, I can plug it into a battery. All of that stuff is pretty self-explanatory, but it's a nice little detail.
Having said that, though, in view of it has that feature, which is great.
Yep.
But you're rarely going to need that. It's got like
I
6
know,
hours of
6
battery
and 7
life.
hours of battery life.
I mean,
so yeah.
Yeah,
So that means we've got what, about 5 more hours of talking to these guys. I think they've had enough of that. They've had enough of us. So if you like it, cool. If you like our channel, cool. Hit the like and subscribe button. Hit the comments. If I got any of the tech specs wrong, forgive me. Write them in the bottom. If you've used these before, if you've used things like them before, and you have any notes for us or any ways that we can use them or any tips or tricks that you've found, let us know. We like the comments. We try to respond to all of them.
We appreciate
That was
it.
neat.
That was kind of cool. Thanks again for watching, you guys. We've got some more episodes of our adventure travels where we actually use these microphones in the field to interview people we meet on the trails. And especially a big thank you to Comica for sending this to us for review.
Indeed.
We appreciate it. It was exactly what we needed. We were specifically reaching out to them. As you guys know, we already use their devices. We know the quality of their product. And when they announced this 4-channel transmitter, we're like, that's perfect for us. And they were very kind and sent us a copy to review. We appreciate that, and we hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stick around for some episodes of us traveling the roads, wandering across America, interviewing people on the road with the new product, and we'll let you know what we think down the road. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Watch our stuff. Hit the button. See ya.